Tucked away in the heart of Johannesburg lies a haven dedicated to the rescue, rehabilitation and release of South Africa's diverse and precious wildlife. The Johannesburg Wildlife Vet.
You never quite know what you're going to get when that phone rings.
Hello. She's looking a bit rougher than what he looked. Hello, sweetheart. Let's get you out of this.
Vet was born out of a need for a veterinary hospital that dealt exclusively with wild animals and had the specialists to work with wild animals.
Everybody loves rhinos and elephants and stuff, and a lot of funding is for that, but nobody cares about the small things.
I know, it's horrible.
It's like the bat that flew into a window, or your cat caught, or you drove over an owl, or you find something's injured on the road. You know, who's going to pay for that?
Joburg Wildlife Vet specializes in small to medium wildlife, which could be anything from the tiniest bat or baby bird to a 30-kilogram python or a 70-kilogram Nile crocodile.
Today, we join the team as they treat one of their current patients, a reedbuck found caught in a snare.
Okay, where's our little sling thing? If you want a stressed animal and you sort of times it by 1,000, you get a reedbuck. So it's in a closed room, very nice and quiet. He's in there. I'm just going to go with Wendy. I don't normally keep them in a room, but he's extremely stressed.
They reckon that the animal had been in the snare 2 to 4 days, and it was quite a hike in. He was very dehydrated. He was completely stressed, so that made us really, really nervous.
We just wait for him to sleep, and oftentimes once you've darted them and they know you're there, they freak out even more. So we just wait. We'll come out and wait, and then once he's asleep, we'll carry him to theatre.
Since opening its doors in 2017, the hospital has treated more than 14,000 animals. Operating as a non-profit, relying on donations and public support to carry out its work.
We've seen over 300 different South African species.
We have animals coming in from every single corner of the country and sometimes over the border.
We do all of that free of charge, and all of them without owners.
More and more veterinary practices from around the country are sending us their animals saying, please, we need specialist surgery to return this black eagle to the sky or to return this python to the wild.
The reedbuck is brought into the operating theatre. The expert team begin working to save its injured leg, knowing their success is vital for the animal's eventual return to the wild.
Reedbuck and any other animal that's a prey animal needs to run. So without a hind leg, you can't do it. And keeping them in captivity is cool, because all wildlife should not be in captivity. So there's blood supply. It's a bad sign. A bad sign. So there's definitely blood there. Yes. But I want to see blood on this bottom side. Yeah, look, it's bleeding. When the blood supply is compromised here, it doesn't look like it's yet here. But if you stick a needle in there and it bleeds, it makes it so it's
While the reedbuck surgery is underway, another urgent case arrives at the hospital.
My little monkey is here. It has definitely been kept for a long time.
A young vervet monkey rescued from illegal captivity.
He's been kept in a cage for quite a long time. He's definitely starved of protein. And he's 100% a victim of the wildlife trade.
The hospital not only provides critical medical care, but also plays a pivotal role in legal cases, working closely with law enforcement and conservation authorities.
We've really made a concerted effort to pursue legal recourse and see if we can put some weight behind legislation, policy, precedent cases for all those little creatures that haven't had a voice before in court. And we make sure that we've got the best subject matter experts, expert witnesses, to really give that animal a voice and to showcase what that animal means to South Africa, what it means to our heritage. It's depressing but fantastic. I mean, if you look over here, we've got guilty, 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 guilty. That's just this year.
As the reedbuck is returned for its recovery, the vervet monkey is brought in for a thorough assessment to check its condition and document any injuries it might have.
We will examine him and see all the injuries, take radiographs, see the extent of nutritional damage. A full docket will be compiled. So we'll do the veterinary evidence, we'll do the suggested charges under the different acts that prohibit not only catching him but keeping him and trying to sell him, and we'll assist the SPCA with all those charges.
Oh, that does look like a fraction there.
The vet is sort of the voice for the animal because we can speak for them. And that often changes the magistrate's views because it's a monkey. But when you explain to them this is how it's up, but this is what it needs, psychological trauma, PTSD, like when those are that pace all the time, it's awful. And when you explain that and they suddenly realize, oh my gosh, this is much worse than just an owl.
So we go to court and we, one, prove that there was enough done to the animal for it to suffer, and two, how we know that, using science and professionals and expertise and subject matter experts.
The Johannesburg Wildlife Hospital is one of the few places in South Africa dedicated to treating and rehabilitating pangolins, the world's most poached animal. With extensive experience in wildlife care, the hospital's team provides specialized treatment and rehabilitation. They work closely with law enforcement to rescue these endangered creatures and combat illegal wildlife trade, ensuring each pangolin has a chance at a safe return to the wild. Beyond their hands-on care, the hospital is also at the forefront of scientific research, advancing our understanding of South Africa's indigenous wildlife.
So we're involved with lots and lots of different science. We have master's students, we have honours students, we have wildlife project students, we have PhD people. We're partnering with Sanby on the Jeff 7 project, which is about collecting all the DNA from animals that come in. That DNA is important, that the information that every single animal can give us is important.
Since its inception, the Johannesburg Wildlife Hospital has experienced extraordinary growth and success. In just over 7 years, they've established themselves as a trusted and specialized facility for wildlife care. Their expertise has made them a go-to resource. However, this rapid expansion has led to significant space constraints.
These days it's a bit crowded, we're tripping over each other. It's a bit like a newly baked bread, we're sort of overflowing now at the edges.
We really need our own facility because we rent here. So we can't build the cages we want. We need a bigger facility where we can have more staff. There's no other place in South Africa where they can learn about small wildlife.
The Johannesburg Wildlife Vet has evolved from a small warehouse operation into a vital resource for wildlife across South Africa. Despite space constraints and overwhelming demand, their commitment to rescue, rehabilitation, and education remains steadfast. Their work, spanning from treating tiny creatures to setting legal precedents, underscores the value of every life in our country. As urban areas expand, the organization's role in balancing human development with wildlife conservation becomes increasingly crucial. Their story exemplifies how dedicated individuals can profoundly impact the delicate coexistence between humans and wildlife in urban environments.
It's for me like a ripple effect. So if one person does this, the other one will go, oh, that looks nice, let's try that, and another one and another one. So it doesn't have to be everyone, but if someone does something, someone else will see it.
I love seeing the success of urban wildlife. Sometimes it can be really hard because those urban wildlife animals can get into a lot of trouble. But where you see the Dussie making the best of the drain pipes and the Jennet making the best of the garden trees that create this little aerial passage, I love seeing that, and I would love to inspire urban residents to enjoy that as well, because it's such a privilege. I'm just getting the recovery box ready, and with these baby monkeys they often enjoy something to hold, something that's nice and soft and comforting.